In the modern day, being a content creator or streamer has sort of become the new I want to be a celebrity when I'm older. Everyone wants to do it, and most people won't. But what can you do to maximize your chances of actually taking off? Well, I was looking at Twitch Tracker, and I noticed something very interesting. And that is that there are a lot of streamers for some games that don't really have a lot of viewers. Let's start with Fortnite, because I think that is the best example. As you can see, according to this chart, Fortnite is the 8th most popular game, or 6th most popular game in general. But if you actually look at Fortnite's stats, it has 1,600 live channels for only 20 viewers. So if you start streaming Fortnite, the chances that you're actually anywhere close to being visible on the page are basically zero. Let's just look at this. Look how many streamers you're competing with. I've not even managed to make it to the people that have one viewer yet. This reminds me of a saying for people that worked with SEO, or search engine optimization, which is the second page of Google doesn't exist. Just to make sure that I don't get the numbers wrong, according to this AI overview, roughly 75% of people will never click page 2 on Google. So unless you're on the first page, or to put into streaming terms, you're one of the top streamers that people see, chances are pretty good that no one is going to find your content. So what should you do? Well, you should try to stream games that have significantly higher viewers compared to how many streamers there are. So Minecraft is another example where there's only 18.4 viewers per channel. To give that some perspective, if you look at League of Legends, there's 48.7 viewers per channel. And there's even less live channels right now. So right now I'm actually looking at this in off time, which means that all of the most popular streamers, not counting those in Korea and Japan, aren't live right now. And there are still this many viewers. This even goes for smaller games. Like if we look at Rust, it is ranked number 9, with 21,000 live viewers, but it only has 168 live channels, and during peak time, the ratio stays about the same. So that's 138 viewers per channel. It is so much more likely, if you were streaming Rust, that some random viewer is going to stumble into your channel than it is for Fortnite or Minecraft. Like, look, I've already seen every single stream. Compare that to how long I'd have to scroll for Fortnite. But of course, that doesn't tell the full story. Because a game like League of Legends has thousands of channels and more during peak time, but it also has another advantage, which is a game like League, and this kind of comes down to knowing your game, it also has people searching based off of the champion. So if I look for Pyke, chances are pretty good that I find somebody who makes content specifically for Pyke. And if a stream was live where somebody was actually playing him, oh, yep, there we go, OTP Pyke. So many people in this game in particular have become big because they specialize in making content for one specific character. If a fighting game was big enough, like say Smash Bros back in its peak, you could apply that same concept to that. So there are niches within some genres that you can kind of work yourself into for otherwise very popular games. But if you were a Minecraft or Fortnite streamer who isn't using Facecam and is just playing the game, your chances of being discovered through just streaming are basically zero. Another good category is old school RuneScape. 50 viewers per channel, but only 141 to 280 live channels. And as you can see, these stay about the same. So to maximize discoverability, try to pick a game where you stand out just based on quantity. Now, if you want an example of a game that looks very promising but actually isn't, let's look at Counter-Strike. Now, Counter-Strike has 74.2 viewers per channel, so it's even better than League. It also just has less channels in general. But the thing about Counter-Strike is a lot of its viewer base comes during tournament streams. So if you look, the average viewers are very high, like 3 times higher than off time. But when you actually adjust this number to be an average for its off time, it becomes about the same as League. That said, it still might be worth streaming, but Counter-Strike, it's much harder to find a niche in because everyone is ultimately playing the same game, which makes it harder to stand out. How many different players are you going to want to see playing the same maps if you don't already know them? Counter-Strike also has another problem that the statistics don't show you, which is about half of its viewer base is Russian. Unless you're bilingual and really lean into it, your effective user base is half of what it seems. Now, if we look even closer at these statistics though, there are 2 outliers, right? The most popular, by far, is just chatting. And there's very few channels that are doing just chatting relative to how popular it is. So what is just chatting? So I go there and I find the most popular streamer has 12.7k views. It's a guy viewbotting, saying nothing to chat, and laying on his floor. This is the just chatting category. I should actually report this stream. A lot of the most popular games though, such as Fortnite and Minecraft, are pretty heavily oversaturated. This means that the best games to stand out and blow up on would be League of Legends, or games where you can do things that are more diverse and attract an audience that way. So old school RuneScape or even Rust. But all this is ignoring the real outlier, which is all other games combined. This means that to be the most popular streamer possible, here is exactly what your setup needs to look like. So with Slay the Spire, what I like to do is I like to try to go down the route that has the most question marks, so it's going to be this one. There we go. With Velatro, what I like to do is I always like to skip the first blind, because then you just get whatever that is. In this case, reroll the next shop start at 0. I'm running the Abandoned deck, so typically you want to go for straights. Unfortunately, I don't have a straight right now, so we're going to do 2-2. That's a pair, and we're going to try to turn that into a straight. For Bloons Tower Defense, we're going to start with In the Loop. I really like this one, and we'll do hard because I like the better rewards. For Jump King, so what you want to do with Jump King is you can just play it whenever. So with these girls, what you actually have to do is you have to talk to them first. Do you have any cavities? So she's a gross weeb, so she's of course going to want you to have cavities. I was wrong. Okay, women don't like you to be as gross as they are. My bad. I was a virgin up until about 2 years ago. She likes that because she's a hopeless romantic. This game is totally not indicative of how you talk to women, but let's just go on a date with them. Now for Clover Pit, I've been playing this for my last 2 games. We're going to spin the slot machine. For this map, of course, you're going to want to put Quincy somewhere where he can see the balloons early because of camo. I like to put him like here because I like to save the loops for better units. Perfect. Now with Jump King, apparently I fell here. So we're, shoot. It's hard to play this game when you're really tiny. Now, of course, that would be absurd. But jokes aside, it does demonstrate one of the most important parts about looking at statistics. As much as I can say, oh, yeah, just stream League of Legends or Rust and you have the best chance of blowing up, that's not really true. If you want to know how you actually become a big content creator or streamer, most people do it in a very similar way, which is they start focused and then expand outwards. Almost every single major creator followed this model. Like PewDiePie, for instance. He started as just a horror game YouTuber, but as he grew, he eventually transitioned into variety. Or Queso. Originally, he uploaded clips to TikTok about NBA, and that really took off, but then to actually maintain his audience, he switched to streaming Hogwarts Legacy, and then he became a variety channel. Maximilian Dude. His Boss Rage series really took off, which brought people in that wanted to watch his streams, and then eventually, as he got bigger and bigger, people started following him for his personality and not just for fighting game content. So if you actually want to get big, the real secret is you clip farm, you cut your content into shorts, you upload all over wherever you can, and you stick to your niche until you've grown big enough that you can expand outward. Now, none of that is going to show up in a graph. Does that mean that this knowledge is useless? Of course not. Despite everything that I just said, if you do all of this right, you are still at the mercy of the algorithm, and you're simply much worse off if you're competing in Fortnite than if you're competing in Rust or RuneScape or even League of Legends. Still, I love looking at the statistics, and I do think that they're helpful to know. It's just worth saying that while the game that you pick initially can help, making good content, getting exposure, and getting some clips that go viral is what actually will build a career. And these are all skills that you build by just showing up every day as much as you can and making content. Everyone who succeeds with a few outliers does it through consistent effort, not optimizing the exact game that they pick. That said, if you don't want to do any of that, my recommendation is to one-trick a champion in League of Legends and stream that champion every day. And until next time, see ya.